Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Jamie Soretta. On this podcast, we celebrate everything local in Arizona. Our next guest wants to help you find your joy. What a wonderful phrase it feels just to say that. This is Lacy Cain of Wildjoy. And Lacy, you have quite the Instagram, quite the TikTok. Tell me about the influence that you have.
It's insane. We have over 700,000 community members now. They mostly live here in the Phoenix and Scottsdale area. It's pretty wild.
And it is wild. Wildjoy.
Wildjoy. That is the name.
How did you choose that name?
So I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And so go back into 2018. I'm about to go into my senior year of college. I'm in this entrepreneurship program at the University of Arizona. I basically have the next 9 months to come up with a business that I then could launch instead of having to do that dreaded corporate job in May, what everyone else is going to have to do with in the graduation. So I come up with this concept of curation of experiences that are freaking awesome. We're going to sell them online, but what do we call this business? Like, what am I trying to accomplish here? And it comes down to what is Wildjoy? What is the reason for it? It's because I want to help people get out of their own heads, experience the things in life that bring them inner joy. And I was like, wait, joy? I'm on like the domain searching like joy.com. Okay, taken. But I don't just want to have just any normal kind of joy. I want to have the kind of joy that when your windows are rolled down in your car and you're on your favorite freaking drive in your hometown with the music blasting, that wild and free kind of joy with your hair's blowing in the wind. And so I was like, wait, freaking wild joy. And the reason I didn't want my company to focus on like happiness, like the pursuit of happiness, is because happiness is like a fleeting thing. We're always on the pursuit of happiness. But joy, I was looking at the science of it, joy is something that is measurable. We all know what brings us joy, whether it's taking that cute photo in the cactus range, to going to that little coffee shop, to doing shopping in this cool vintage store. You know what brings you joy. So instead of trying to help people become happy, help them find moments that they can build on each other. I'm going to do this photo shoot this weekend. I'm going to do the Wildjoy day trip next weekend. And suddenly in 6 months from now, you actually like where you live. You like the community. You like the businesses. You've had adventures and experiences. And that's what Wildjoy is all about. So that's how I got the name. So I got started. And it's really exciting.
You know, being an Arizona girl, I've always connected to the Salt River ponies because they run.
Me too.
And I think of the wind in their hair and they're running free and wild. And I always think about, I want to be like one of the Salt River ponies.
Me too.
So Wildjoy connects with me. Those words connect with me as well. You're an Arizona girl. Where are you born?
Born and raised in Tucson, but more specifically Oro Valley. Lived here my whole life. Yeah, I went to college at University of Arizona in Tucson and then moved to Phoenix in 2019. So I guess I've been an Arizona girl for pretty much the whole time.
And there was a segment of time between your junior and senior year where Wildjoy, the joy had kind of escaped you.
It was negative joy.
If joy is measurable,
it was the opposite.
We laugh now because of what came out of it. But tell me what was going on.
Gosh, yeah. I've always suffered with depression, anxiety. I think it runs in my family. A lot of me and my siblings have suffered with it. But for me, it gets really bad when I forget to do stuff that I love to do, which is pretty obvious to think about now. But basically, I moved from Tucson to Sacramento for a 3.5 month stint with a company called Siemens. I was doing commercial project management. This is before I thought of my company. Like this is way back. Move out there, start working. It's a German-owned company, which was really cool and different experience. But everyone that works there speaks German. Everyone, even in Sacramento and like the United States, everyone's speaking German. So I'm going to work every day. I'm doing a job I don't like.
You're isolated.
I can't even freaking talk to anyone. Like I don't have any friends. I'd go home, go to sleep, wake up the next day, do it again. The weekends would come by. I had nothing planned. And 2 months into this, I am at one of the worst moments in my life, to be honest. Depressed so bad, so anxious, just kind of considering like, do I keep going? And that's kind of a weird thing to say now because I can't even believe I was even at that point. But everything changed for me when I remember that I'm in control of my own destiny in my own life. And I decided, screw it. I'm already freaking miserable. Might as well be miserable and ask these girls from work if they want to go to Yosemite with me. And turns out they became like my best friends that summer. But
did they speak German?
Yes.
English at all?
They're the coolest people ever. Yeah, they're literally amazing, so smart women from Germany all over the place. But yeah, we decided to go to Yosemite. And one of the things that's like, if you thought about Lacy, my name as a whole, like waterfalls, water is affiliated with it. I've always been chasing waterfalls since I was a kid. We do hikes. So I'm like, we're going to do this massive waterfall at Yosemite. And it didn't even take me all the way to get to the top. I'm standing at like this big rock. I can feel the huge amount of mist just on my my face. And I just stand there and I just like allow the mist to just like envelop my whole body. And I remember what it's like to feel alive. And in that moment, I realized, okay, shoot, life's pretty great, honestly, if I just go out and do the things I like doing, like going to waterfalls. So I was driving home that day and I realized, okay, I can get through this summer if I plan something every single weekend. That way, when I'm at work, I can plan something. Like I can have something to look forward to. So like the rest of the summer, I did stuff like go to Lassen Volcanic Park. I literally was at a freaking volcano in California. I didn't even know that existed. But once I had the taste of that Wildjoy lifestyle, I had to keep it up. So the whole rest of the summer, I built it around these amazing memories with these girls. We all traveled all throughout California. Had a
How
freaking
are you
blast.
communicating?
Well, they're smarter than me and they spoke English. It's just I didn't speak German.
Okay,
no, they were way smarter than me. They can speak multiple languages.
I was just curious.
But we had so much fun. And then I came back to college when I was telling you a minute ago about the story of what came with Wildjoy. I had just finished a whole entire summer. I realized how miserable corporate America really is in general. Like, sorry to say it, but I feel like a lot of people I talked to when I was doing my market research was like, they go to work. Some people like their job, some people don't. They get home, they're so freaking tired. They have kids, they have family, they have like bills to pay. They're not planning their weekends. So I was like, what if I could take that away from them? What if I could allow them to have something to look forward to? And that's what I've built with Wildjoy is all of these extremely specific itineraries and plans and date ideas and date trips that people like myself that are out there that are working their asses, working their butts off.
That's okay.
Working their butts
It's a podcast.
Yeah, they're working. They're working their butts off, and they deserve to have an extraordinary life.
Right.
So I'm going to give them the tools.
And we love that you make it so easy for us because yes, a lot of people don't have time to research what to do, where to go, what's happening this weekend.
Yes,
and you're so plugged in. So when you got back from that trip, the internship that taught you so much more than what they were trying to teach you, really due to your own mental strength to pull yourself out of that dark place. A lot of people could have come back and just been like, that was a horrible summer, but you chose to find a way to find your joy. And I love that. I think that people need to focus on, I've got my laundry to do, I've got this to do, but you said, I forgot to do the things I like to do.
Yes.
It's so simple, but it's beautiful.
We all forget.
Yeah, it's a beautiful statement. And now you're making it easy. So tell me how you started doing the Instagram, the TikTok, and these guides for people.
Yeah, so it's so glamorous now, right? Having this big following.
Yes, it is.
And it's like,
I looked at your numbers.
Yeah, it's like, wow, this is so glamorous. But I think back to the beginning of Wildjoy, 2019. I was selling local experiences. So what you said a minute ago with wild horses, I was working with a guy that would take you out on the river and he'd take you paddleboarding and you could book this through wildjoy.com. But, 10 months into the business, I have $10 in revenue. I'm going to go out of business. My dad is calling me every day and he's like, you need to use that college degree. Put the college degree to work. Like, quit this little business thing you made. I'm like, no, Dad, I have a vision. I promise. So in January 2020, I decided that I was going to become Wildjoy was going to get on social media. I was never a social media person. I was never cool, never popular like that. I never was anything like that. So to me, the idea of trying to grow a following online was like, well, this is pretty much near impossible, but what's more scary, posting online or going out of business? So I'm just going to start posting. And then my whole freaking life changed. I had no idea that I am enough. I'm enough to exist online. I'm enough. My ideas, my visions, my ideas, everything. It's enough for people. And so when that first 2 months, when I gained 50,000 freaking followers on TikTok, I was just absolutely mind blown that people understood what the Wildjoy vision was. They understood how much fun I was having. And so that changed everything for me. My whole everything changed. Oh, you're tearing up.
I'm a crier, and I cry on this pod all the time because I love the passion of our entrepreneurs and this moment that hit you about you can be yourself.
I'm enough. You're enough.
And that people will come. What do they say? If you build it, the people will come. There's something like that. The field of dreams. And it's a lot of people live in fear. They're afraid to take that moment. A lot of the things I post online is very work related and not very, I'll see authentic moments from people. And, it's just fun to have that curtain where you can protect yourself behind the curtain a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But to be able to share that openly is such a brave thing. And then to have it pay off for you is such a beautiful thing. Because imagine had you kept this from the people. 600,000 people wouldn't know what to do this weekend.
It's literally mental.
Yeah.
And I always thought I don't know, maybe one day I'll be confident enough that I can do all these things and not feel the fear.
Yeah.
But I think this phrase of if you feel fear, you're onto something. That's the right path is when you feel that way, it means you're doing something that's guiding you to your higher self, your higher calling. And so as I've built my company and we've done crazy stuff, like we have an app called Wildjoy Map that was created by one of our followers. Like that's the impact I built in my community. It wasn't just followers. They were like actual people that cared about Wildjoy. Now, 6 years later, huge following. We have an app. We do our Make Friends events. Like we're making actionable change. And I look around and I'm like, am I enough still? Like, I still struggle with the same insecurities I had 6 years ago
of where I'm looking for growth, I imagine. Like what to do differently?
Yeah. Well, like the thing is in the very beginning, I had nothing to lose. It felt like, so when I was posting, it was like fearlessness. Like it was like, well, screw it. I have nothing else. And now it feels like, okay, everyone's watching. Everyone has opinions. I want to do a really good job. I want this video about this small business to just absolutely change their whole life. Like I struggle now as an entrepreneur with like, dude, chill. It's just a video. Like have fun with it. Yeah. And that's like the thing that's important as you grow into yourself as an entrepreneur is remember it's supposed to be fun. Like why did you start doing this in the beginning? And that's what I'm having fun with now in 2025 is I decided this is the year of failing publicly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'll be tuning in.
Yeah.
Add you to my favorite so I don't miss a beat.
Jamie, you're actively watching right now.
What does this mean?
I'm tired of keeping this facade of like, I have to do every single thing perfectly right because I grew a following. Oh man, I want to launch this really cool merch idea. I have this sick idea, but wait, what if we don't have $1 bajillion in sales? Like, what if I'm a failure then? Like, what is wrong with that? Like, why would I be so afraid to not even try something? So now it's like, okay, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to launch that hot dog shirt, which I'm actually working on, by the way. This is one of the ideas. Wait, this really sick Sonoran hot dog on tour shirt. It looks like a band shirt. It's super sick. But why not publicly post it? Fail in front of 700,000 people. Like, what if it doesn't sell? Like, the sun's going to rise the next day. I'm going to move on and I'll have learned something. So that's what all this is about. And there's a lot of stuff I'm working on behind the scenes that I can't really talk about, but they're bigger things. But and I'm willing to take the risk. Yeah.
Okay. Well, sign me up for one of those Sonoran hot dog t-shirts. I want one of those.
Girl, you look so good.
Let's talk about people who are looking at you going, how can I use some of these tools that she's doing in my business? How can I grow my local business as well? Can we talk about the physical tools? What are you shooting with? What are you using for microphones?
Yeah. So I have no experience. If you're like a very successful company that has lots and lots and lots of money, I don't have any advice for you. I have advice for people like myself that had absolutely nothing except for themselves and they want to win. This is the way. You need a phone. That's all you need. You need an iPhone or an Android. Hopefully one of the more recent updates because like the cameras are nicer and stuff, but you don't need anything fancy. You just need a freaking phone. With the phone, what you're going to do is you're going to decide on a video editing software. I recommend CapCut. It's free. It's owned by the company that owns TikTok. So it got a lot of the cool templates and sounds. It's not going to be tricky. It's super easy to download. From there, what you're going to decide on a piece of paper is you're going to write down like 5 categories of things that you want to have on your social media. If you...
Is it like the highlights with those?
Yeah. So let's kind of break it down. So like with you, Jamie, right?
Yes.
Let's say we're talking about your Instagram and your news like stuff. You have a lot of different stuff that you're sharing. If you broke it into categories, you have like the Jamie's Local Love content you're sharing. You have like on site where you're doing like behind the scenes with owners. Like you have a list of the kind of content that you're consistently posting. You might not know you're consistently doing it, but like for me, it was date ideas, day trips, speakeasies. Like you pick your couple categories and then you're going to brainstorm every single piece of ideas you can possibly come up with under each category. For me, it was back in 2020. I sat down. Okay, people like my date ideas. I'm going to come up with the best ones. So I made a huge list and I slowly start checking them off, recording them, slowly posting them, learning, making mistakes, like doing it again, yada, yada. And from there, you're teaching this community of people like what you're all about. If you don't consistently posting the same kind of stuff, people are following someone they don't know what to expect and people want to know what to expect.
Okay.
So that's my best advice for like how to build like a social media that's going to like bring in followers. But the biggest thing that people don't remember is consistency is the key to pretty much anything in life, whether it's nutrition, your workouts, your business. It's consistency. And those social media platforms, they love it when you post consistently.
What does that mean? What is consistent?
Consistent to me is every single day.
Okay.
And
something every day. Does it have to be a story, a post? Does it matter?
If you want to have rapid growth where you're seeing crazy things happen for you, I'm talking like 3 videos a day.
Oh.
That is like
posting or stories?
Posts. That is when I was rapidly growing for 2 years. Like I was like the only thing I was working on before we had an app, before we had events, only thing we were doing is social media. I was posting like 3 times a day. When people come to me, they are like, oh, what you do seems so cool, yada, yada. I'm like, guys, you don't understand how much work and late nights that are going to go into this, but it's so worth it. Once you do that turbo boost couple years where you're going to go all in, you're posting all the time. If you can't do 3 times a day, like that's totally fine. I'm insane. And I had
it worked,
and I had a max credit card. Like, come on, we had nothing to lose. Like we had to get it. So, but if you're like a business owner and you're trying your damnedest just to get through the day right now, and you're like, how am I supposed to add social media to this? You're going to do 1 video a day, and they're going to be at different kind of topics. You're not going to make them super, super stressful. But from the consistency of if you do it for a while, you will 100% grow a following. Not only that, you'll start getting paid by these social media platforms. A lot of times, businesses think that they need to be businesses on Facebook, on TikTok, whatever. Like they need to make their accounts like business ones, like the setting.
Yeah.
But I find that's actually a way to get your views to go way down. So instead of trying to exist as a business, because Meta, TikTok, they want you to put money into your profile to get your videos out there. If you just make your account as a creator account, it sees your account as like just a normal person, and they're going to push your stuff out. So that's what kind of the stuff I recommend.
All right. Well, I have like my Facebook, I think, is a business account, my fan page.
Yeah.
So do I need to make that just a normal?
I don't have like Facebook. We're actually growing on right now. We kind of, that was not our focus for a while. We did TikTok, then Instagram and Facebook. But I think for anything, if the platform that you're posting on makes money more often when you're a certain type of account, like if you're, are you doing boosted posts?
No, I don't.
Then you don't need to be a business account. So that's my best advice. Make it so you look like just a normal person. And that's how you get the most organic views.
So we want to be authentic. We want to be a normal person. We are enough. This is all sage advice that has, minimal to do with business, but it does.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. A lot of people think that because of what they've seen online, they need to look the part or be the part. Yeah. But some of the most rapidly rising small businesses are like, let's talk about, Amici Pizza.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Holy crap.
Yes,
that girl. So let's, for any listener that hasn't, right? Yeah, they're right on the street from my place and always packed. Yes.
I think.
Guys, Amici or Amici, however you say it, this is owned by a girl that she looks like she's like 25 years old. She is on fire. All she did is just go to work at her business that she owns, that she was already doing. She makes a day in the life video where she records herself doing the simple things like making freaking Shirley temples. Why is every single video that she's posting has like 400,000 to 2 million views? It's because people don't want you to be anything but yourself. So by her sharing authentically what her business was really like, people were like, shoot, that's interesting. I want to know what happens behind the scenes in a pizza shop. Yeah. And so she slowly just started posting. And I think that pretty much she's changed her entire life now. In the last year, like there's a line outside every single day. And it's not in like a popular walking area. This is like next to a Goodwill. It's incredible what she's done. And anyone can do it. They just have to put the time in, record it, and not be afraid to be themselves online. Yeah. And it's so cool.
Okay, so we're going to throw out our fear. We're going to follow our fear.
We're gonna taste the fear. We're gonna do it anyway.
We're gonna eat it up.
Yeah, we're gonna eat it up.
And then we're gonna not be afraid of failing, because I love that too. It's just do the scary thing, and if it doesn't work, you just do something else.
Do you know what's way more scary? I listen to motivational videos a lot because it helps me. I have anxiety. I have a lot of thoughts that aren't helpful to my everyday, so I listen to motivational videos to help me kind of retrain my brain, and it really helps me specifically. But one of the pictures that they always paint in these motivational videos that I freaking love is, what are you more afraid of? Getting to your deathbed and having your dreams that you never took action on standing over you and saying, like, we came to you.
Yeah, could have been so beautiful.
Yeah, we came to you, only you. Yeah. And you decided to
back away,
to be afraid. And what? You're old and gonna die, and all those ideas are dying with you. Like, I'm more afraid of that. And I think a lot of people, if they thought about it like that, they're like, okay, it's not that scary actually right now. I'd rather try and then say I tried than never do it at all.
So talking about scary things, I know on television I've had to do some scary things that I didn't.
You do so much scary things.
I wouldn't necessarily want to do. Had the camera not been rolling for 3 minutes, I knew I can do this for 3 minutes, get the segment over with. One thing that I did was underwater welding. Underwater welding.
Isn't that supposed to be the most dangerous things of all time?
I think so.
Yeah.
And for someone who is like, they say don't touch the red button. I want to touch the red button. They said if you touch this metal template, like you'll get shocked. Like it's, don't touch that metal. Touch as they were welding next to me, and I had this scuba thing head on, and they had a microphone in there, so I was able to somehow broadcast from underwater. This is something that it was someone else's assignment, and they got moved that day, and then I got tossed into it, and so there I am.
So awesome.
So what kind of thing that have you had to do for your job that was really scary that you wanted to show up the experience, but it might have been an experience someone else would have chosen, but you did it and faced your fear and actually had fun doing it?
Okay, so not the most fearful person when it comes to adventures. So like underwater welding to me would feel like, oh my gosh, that's epic. Like I want to do it. So like things that would scare other people don't really scare me. So the thing that I'm thinking of actually is a wellness experience.
Where you have to share.
What?
Where you have to share, like share to the group. Like I have to talk about my feelings to the group.
Oh yeah. Oh
that
yeah. Well, that is very scary. This was like a laser needle thing that I had to do for a video. Well, I didn't have to. It was an awesome sponsorship from a med spa in Old Town Scottsdale. And we do tons of spa stuff because our following is mostly women and they love to learn all the coolest ways to, you know, embrace self-care.
Yes.
Now, I'm at this place and it's amazing and they're just so fabulous, but they're like, we want you to do this like service that's called the Fountain of Youth. And it's for like women probably 10 to 15 years, like my elders. And so I don't know. So I'm kind of like, okay, what am I doing? I don't know why I'm doing this, yada, yada. They get going and it hurts so bad. And they take this tiny little thing that's like a pencil and it has about 50 needles inside of it. And they slowly go over every single freaking pore in your face, insert the needle, shoot the laser in. And it was like me. I started crying and I had to take a break to go to the bathroom and I'm standing there and I told my husband, I was like, I am never doing this for a video again. Like I am never doing extreme pain ever again. So it's not very exciting like yours. Yours is way cooler, but mine's like a stupid, like, wow, this hurts so bad, but I have to get through it.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. That probably wasn't a very good story.
Did you feel younger? Did you look younger? You look very young.
I still felt 23. That's how I was super young. Now I'm 27, so I don't know. I probably look older
27 was one of my favorite ages.
It is.
It was to me because I started to get my feet underneath me with what I was doing and really starting to enjoy it instead of struggling and trying to do it so perfectly. I was starting to really enjoy my work.
Yeah, it's like not everything is brand new anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, I figured out a few things. Like I know how to pay my taxes. Like I know what the websites are. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I know how to like take care of the basics, but there's so much exploration and curiosity and playfulness I feel like at 27 still that I have. Like, did you have a travel bug?
I mean, I'm 48 and I still have a lot of playfulness and
see, I
feel like very childlike in a lot of ways. I look at life and just these experiences, I feel like with childlike eyes sometimes.
How did you balance, like, you are in such an incredibly successful woman and like your career, it's like insane how much you've accomplished. How did you balance like travel, fun in your 20s?
I was broke. I mean, I went $65K in debt because we were not paid well. My first job paid $15,000 and then I went down to, I got a raise and I was $15,500 because I did a good job.
Good job, Jamie.
And then it was 20 and whatnot, but I still really wanted to go to my friends' weddings and their bachelor parties and whatever. So I put it all on a credit card. In fact, when I was living in, thank you for asking, when I was living in Joplin, Missouri, they had best dress contests. And I wore my dresses from ASU with like my feathers and crazy stuff that I wore at ASU. And I would win every week. Sometimes it was $20, sometimes it was $250. But I remember calling my girlfriends from Phoenix, from ASU, I can come to Vegas for your bachelorette party. I have the flight money. But it was always very important. I always said in all my towns to squeeze the juice. And that's what you do with your podcast. You help us, or your Instagram, et cetera, is you help us squeeze the juice out of town. And sometimes you're like, oh, no, I don't know what's going on this weekend. Well, you pull up your app, you know, you'll tell us what's going on this weekend. So as we head toward a hot summer, maybe an expensive summer, what are some things that you would suggest that we do that maybe doesn't cost as much and maybe is in the AC and things that we could still enjoy our town?
So everything in Arizona is better if you have a car. So I'm sorry if you don't have a car and you're listening to this because a lot of the stuff I'm going to say is like drive around.
Yeah.
There's this, if you go to a library, this is completely free to do. It's my biggest hack in the summer for anyone that's trying to like have an affordable summer or just get through it. Is you go to a library, any library in the Phoenix area and make an account. It's free to do this. You ask them for culture passes it's free to sign up for any of them. Basically like 30 of the top attractions in the state. Like these are not like going to like an amusement park. These are like the Phoenix Art Museum, Cosanti, Arcosanti.
Yes.
All of these ones that are like $20 to get in. They're all free with the culture pass. And
you know what's cool about the culture pass? It's kind of like the field trips that you used to take as kids.
It's literally that. But as an adult, you can appreciate it way more. And it's kind of fun and exciting to like explore. Like Cosanti is really cool.
It is.
And I don't know if a lot of people really know about it still. And I don't know how. It's like this insanely cool like architectural wonder. Who's it by again?
So it's Solani Bells.
Thank you.
So I think the last name
Solani.
is Solani, I think.
Solani.
And he has that big sculpture. It's the Solani Bridge in Old Town Scottsdale.
Yes.
So you have the Solani Bridge. And I went to Cherokee Elementary School, which passes right by that Solani Bell, the Casanti place. And I did a story there. And yeah, you can have an experience. I'm sure you know, but you can have an experience where you make bells out of like the ground. You're doing it in the ground because it's so hot.
I know the freaking iron, like the iron is in the ground.
Yes. So that's really cool. And then Arkansanti, have you been there yet?
Not yet, and that's completely pathetic as
No,
Wildjoy for me to say it. Honestly, I get kind of embarrassed when people are like asking me anything. So I'm like, should I answer honestly? I always am honest. I've never been there.
Say? Just it's on my list.
It is. Well, it really is. Like, you know, I told you, I was like, I'm listing all the date ideas. Like, they are so cool. And I just saw actually another person went out and made a video at Acrosanti. They made a video about the coffee shop itself, and they made it look so sick. They're like, best coffee shop in the state. I'm like, you bet, it looks sick. There's these like nature with the cool architecture. Anyway, yeah, stick to the culture pass. That's like a super easy way. And then I'm always paying attention. I didn't really realize how many free things cities will do for its residents that people just don't talk about. So one of my biggest hacks in the summer, if I don't like want to spend money, is I just like look up different towns like websites, and I see what they have going on for 4th of July or even there's like cool days like where sponsors will come to things like the Salt River and do like tubing, like just kind of being in the know. Also, Groupon, very helpful last minute stuff.
Still Groupon. It's still around.
Yeah, but I don't know about you. Have you ever used Groupon before?
Yeah, of course. I used to love it.
So I do this kind of sneaky thing with Groupon. I try to help the business owners because I kind of feel bad. I use Groupon as a way to finding things, and then pretty much if you contact the business and you call them and you like, I found you on Groupon, can I come in and have the same price? They'll totally do it, and then the business gets to keep all the money from it, and it's a really good little hack for the small businesses.
You work around them.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things to do in the summertime because, you know, we have all these 5-star resorts that are
I know we do
off the chain during the season, but we're sitting here in Phoenix anyhow. We're going to be in a pool. We might as well be at the, you know, the 5-star pool for $150 or whatever it is.
It's not even that much anymore. It's like $50 for a day pass at these like insanely cool daycation places.
See, I was going to get a massage or something too.
Oh, sick. Yeah. You know what's a good one right now is the Agave Spa at the Westin Kierland. They have one of the coolest pools in the whole state, in my opinion.
Do they have the Lazy River?
They have the Lazy River. They got the Flow Rider. They have a water slide, multiple pools. But with the Agave Spa, it's really nice. They just redid the whole spa. It's got the steam room and the sauna, and we're about to start working with them again. And part of the perks, if you mentioned Wildjoy, going there is you get access to their adventure pool, which you typically have to pay for like a whole day pass to go to, the water slide, the Lazy River.
Oh.
So you, Jamie, you can go get your $155 massage, which is on the low end for these 5-star resorts. They're like more 400-ish.
It's my birthday gift. You know,
155 is low for these resorts. Like, and then you can get access to the pool. So like that's what I recommend for everyone. Just go to the Westin Kierland, get a gorgeous facial or massage, and you can spend the whole day lazy rivering, water sliding.
With our Wildjoy pass.
Yeah, you just mentioned Wildjoy. It's easy.
And then you said that you started working with them again. How do these accounts work when you work with the different local businesses or even some of the national stuff? How does that work?
It's crazy. I've worked with the biggest brands like Disney, Warner Brothers, but I've also worked with the smallest, and everyone pretty much comes inbound. So we don't really do any outbound at this point where I don't know. I haven't really for years, to be honest.
Cool
like, yeah, it's super cool. Sometimes I feel like I need to be doing more outbound on like very cool ideas that I come up with and pitching. But we've been so lucky that so many of them are coming in. So like I spoke at the governor's conference in 2021, and the governor's conference, the attendees were all people in the tourism space from hotels to cities. So that was actually a really big thing for me in the very beginning. And that's how I met a lot of my contacts is going to this conference, introducing myself to anyone and everyone. I'm a big believer that networking events are really, really fun if you make them fun. So I used to go to these things, introduce myself to everyone. At this event was Karen Kahn. She's one of my clients now for years, Westin Kierland. She's the marketing director. She's fabulous. She understood the vision of what I was building from my presentation. She hired me, and throughout the years, we've really, really grown together. So we're so lucky to work with so many cool brands.
Yeah, and that they're coming to you.
Oh, yeah.
And then is it like an account for a certain, I don't know, for a summer stretch, or is it for an event that's coming up?
Totally.
How does this go?
Really, really depends. We have all sorts of different types of clients. We have cities to event hosts to small little tiny businesses. Some of our clients are like on annual contracts where I have like, let's say 4 to 5 videos a year that I do throughout the year, like the Westin Kierland, for example. And then I have like smaller businesses that, let's say like the Rancher Hat Bar in Old Town Scottsdale. They were my client for the last couple of years. they hire us for like a 4-video contract. I don't freaking know.
Yeah. So it just kind of depends.
Yeah.
Because even if a business is watching this and they're like, I would like Wildjoy to come to my business.
Oh, yeah.
Could we invite you or pay you for a one-time visit? How does that work?
So one thing that makes Wildjoy different than any other quote influencer stuff is in Arizona is that we don't do anything for trade. And what that means is that when we get invitations, we decline them pretty much 99% of the time. What our number one goal is to provide authentic, organic content onto our feeds for people that they'll find stuff that we actually would spend our own money on that we recommend. And then we have amazing sponsors that supplement it, that we will come out. We will do a video, but it's all paid and we disclose it on the advertisement. We don't do any sort of like foodie influencer visits.
Yeah, you don't. You do a lot of
we do mostly experiences. So when I do food, it's like rarely paid, and it's always like my favorite freaking spots. So that's kind of like with inbound information how to get a Wildjoy. We always are accepting new conversations at hello@wildjoy.com. We'll get on a call with you. We'll talk you through start to finish what it looks like working with a quote influencer. Like, what does that even mean, right?
Yeah.
What it means is we're gonna freaking change your whole business. Like I post these videos and it's like it's all glamorous. Like, okay, wow, 400,000 views, but what does that mean for the business? Oh, 40 grand. Seriously, this happens all the time. It's the coolest thing ever. Like each video, it's like this will bring 20,000. This will bring 40. Oh my gosh, this brought in 100. Like it's insane. It's insane. So it's when you're trying to figure out your value as the business that's bringing that to you. It's like, what do you charge? If you're bringing $40,000 in revenue, what do you charge as the marketer for it? Right now, I'm battling that because when you go onto Facebook and Meta, let's say your freaking Facebook business page, I want to reach 1 million people. So you do a sponsored thing on your own post. I'm going to put money in to reach 1 million people. You'd spend 40 grand to reach 1 million people. With Wildjoy, you're spending an eighth of that.
Wow.
Like, so it's like, what do you charge as a business? I don't know.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? And it's evolving, and it's a brand new industry.
Always. And so, we're at the point now where we're just at max capacity all the time. So I'm constantly raising our prices and constantly trying to figure out what do we do. And we've been having a lot of success with our Make Friends events. That's been a really cool way for us to expand the Wildjoy brand and to really bring community together to make friends as adults. We just sold out our one yesterday in 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh. Where is that one going to be?
This one's with Lou Malnati's.
Oh, love them.
I always mix up their name. I get Illuminati's. It's not Illuminati. It's Lou Malnati's. Deep dish pizza.
And I have trouble with my L's. They have delicious pizza, but I have trouble.
I struggle with talking.
Illuminati's.
I struggle with talking. So it's
I get it.
You're better talking than me for
I get
sure.
it
But we're doing a deep dish pizza making class. They did it.
Yes.
They did an influencer event like 3 months ago, and we're basically doing that event, but for the public.
Cool.
And that's what Wildjoy is all about. It's about bringing exclusive experiences to the public that maybe they wouldn't have access to, or we bring it to them at a different price. Like,
are you at every event because you have a staff now, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about how many people do you have?
We have 5 people on our team right now. I am still doing way too much. I feel like I probably need to taking a step back and hiring more staff for like going to these events.
So that might be a role that someone could reach out and be
100,
like,
100%.
Would like to do this?
Yeah, 100% and stuff. But I need to be stepping back from going to as much as it's the problem. It's because my job is kind of fun sometimes. Like I get to do some really cool stuff.
Well,
so
you
it's
can
like
choose.
Yes.
You can cherry pick.
Yes, it's like, okay, the Scottsdale Jazz Festival's coming up soon. Like I can't wait to go. But that same day, there's 6 other festivals that I'm excited about. So now I'm at the point where I'm teaching my team how to go out. How do you make the kind of content? And if you didn't know it was the goal is for it to be uniform across all of our content. So it's like, how do you train someone to take the kind of clips that it would look the same as you? And it's very, 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 very tricky. We don't repost anything on Wildjoy. That's one thing we do different too, is that we don't like share other people's posts. Every single thing that you've seen on there is handmade by us.
Wow.
And that's the level that we want to keep at.
Well, we say influencer, but I was explaining to my producer, Jonathan, who's sitting behind me. Hi, Jonathan. That we're going to be talking to. She's an experience influencer. I mean, more of an experience guide. I mean, you're not selling me clothes. Besides that, send on a hot dog T-shirt I'm going to get from your merch.
Oh, Jamie, I'm sending you in a PR package. Get ready to unbox it.
I want to pay for that
locals
shirt.
Love.
But it's all experiences, and that's what I really like, is that you are literally opening the door as far as how we can experience nature and the cool things that are going on around us.
Yeah.
So, Lacy, when you don't have to work, you have nowhere to go. It's a Sunday. It's a sunny and 70. You're here in Phoenix or Mesa, where you live in Mesa?
Tempe.
What are you going to do? How are you spending your day? What are you loving in Arizona?
Well, I have 2 of the most gorgeous cats of all time, Jagger and Iris. They're little black cats. And so me and my husband, Ian, like nothing beats a day. We bought a house I don't think I've ever said that publicly.
We bought a house. Congratulations.
Bought a house
Good
last year.
Congratulations.
It's actually the first time I've ever seen that. Wow, it's crazy to say out loud. Yeah, bought
You're
a house.
Homeowner.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Got kicked out of our apartment basically. It was long story.
What'd you do? Was it Iris or Jagger?
No, I took the whole audience along the journey of getting kicked out to whatever. But basically they wanted to redo the apartment, increase the rent, whatever, the house. Anyway, the ideal day for me is spent at my home, enjoying it with my beautiful angels. I love cooking. I did a whole cooking class last year at Sweet Basil up in North Scottsdale. I did a 12-week class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really fun.
That's commitment.
Yeah.
So you're a chef now?
I've been chefing.
Yeah,
I'm a chef. Yeah, so I'm not a little chef. So I'm a homebody, to be honest. And if I was doing something that's me out of my house on a day off that I'm not picking my phone up and I'm just having fun, it's where me and my husband or a friend will go to a city and we have no plans and we just do everything we want to do. So like we'll drive to Flagstaff for the day. We have zero plans. We just park the car, walk around, and suddenly we have the most fabulous day of all time. That's an ideal day to me, is where I just have absolute freedom, exploration. I get to try new things with my taste buds, see new things, hear new things, potentially get a different temperature, like Flagstaff compared to Phoenix. You know, it's way cooler.
Are you taking your phone with you on the trip?
I am. But it comes down to my intention. And I always have my intention by what card to pay with. My business credit card versus my normal card. Because if it's a business credit card, you know I'm filming. So it kind of comes down to it. So it's really a whole
commitment. So maybe
commitment.
you leave the business card at home sometimes.
Exactly. So it's like if I'm not there for work, like I can't justify it whatsoever. I guess I have to enjoy myself. Like, I don't know. It's mental. It's hard when your job is your camera, because anything and everything could potentially be used as content. Even freaking going to the gas station and filling up your gas, like that could be used as a small little clip in a day trip idea. So it's extremely tempting to just have a 24/7 phone going.
But you turn it off sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm actually I'm very introverted, which most people will not know. I think I come across very extroverted. Yes. I'm very introverted, so I do not like posting. I don't like constantly recording myself talking. Like you said your friend likes to always have the camera rolling at lunch. Like it's not me. I like to have intentional times. I get too anxious.
I get it. And I feel like I say very candid things. So it's always kind of
I do. Yeah.
I can be very candid.
Yeah. And I've gone through some really interesting like legal stuff this past year in my business. Like we've launched so much stuff, and it was only a matter of time until we ran into some legal stuff. But I really learned you cannot say or do anything online that you wouldn't want like in public. And for us, it was in 2021, one of my interns used a photo from the general internet on her blog, and she credited it. It was a swimming hole blog. She took a freaking picture of Grasshopper Point in Sedona, used it on the blog, says, like, I got this photo from this place. 4 years later, I get sued for $16,000 from the photographer and stuff. And then a few months later, my text messages are summoned in court because a video I made about someone went to the event and someone got hurt, and now there's a personal injury case, and somehow I'm connected to it. So the reason I bring all this up is that it's not all super glamorous, honestly, running a business. Like, it's pretty stressful. It costs a lot of money. Bad things happen, but it's all worth it for the days when you feel like honored to do your life. You know?
Yeah. And we're honored to watch it. And thank you for sharing your authentic self. You are enough.
Jamie, you're the best.
Your story, and even I think your struggles with mental health and depression and anxiety that you shared with us, I think it's so important that people see all of that and look at you having fun and enjoying your life and building something beautiful from the ground up that you created. No, there was no guideline for this, and you just came up with it and continued to create. So kudos to you, my friend.
Thank you.
She's Wildjoy. She's bringing us joy right here in the valley and across Arizona.
And my name's Lacy.
Yeah, and your name's Lacy.
A lot of people think my name is Joy.
Yeah, well, they might as well call you. You answer to, don't you?
I do. I answer to pretty much anything. Jamie, thanks for having me. You're such inspiration to me and to women all throughout the state and to entrepreneurs overall. I love how you're constantly community forward. You're looking to help anyone else up alongside of you, and you're behind the scenes. You're just like a really kind, thoughtful person, and I'm thankful to know you.
Oh, thank you for coming.
Of course. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Jamie's Local Love, the podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Serretta. Our technician is Tom Heidinger. Our editors are Lorraine Shearing and Gina Coy. Do you know a business worthy of some local love? Email me at jserretta@azfamily.com. Follow us at facebook.com/Serretta and Instagram @Serretta News. Make sure to subscribe and give us a 5-star review, please. And tell your friends about the podcast and the businesses we feature to show your local love. You can find us on Apple, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Jamie's Local Love, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast.